What is going on, everybody? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys an MLB and NBA combo video of my DFS podcast. It's Thursday, the weekend's almost here. We have another MLB main slate and another NBA playoff main slate to talk about for tonight. There's only 5 games on the MLB slate, a little bit of a slower day. 2 earlier games I decided to skip. And there's also a rainy spot at Wrigley Field. We're going to have to wait and see how the radar looks closer to first pitch, because it looks like pretty 50-50 right now. If it is worth picking from, if the radar doesn't look as bad, that's going to be a really good game to pick from. The winds are blowing 11 to 15 miles per hour out at Wrigley, and when that happens, there's usually a lot of runs. So I'm going to leave that game out of this video just because we don't know what the weather is going to be looking like. The pitching looks god-awful, but we'll talk about it. It'll be quick, though. I'll try to do it as fast as possible since I'm talking about 2 sports in this video. Give it a like. Make sure you are subscribed. I do appreciate it. So for pitcher, if you can spend up, it's not like a, I'm not super confident in it because he's 11,000, but he's by far projected the most points out of these pitchers tonight. Kodai Senga, the rookie for the Mets, pitching at the pitcher-friendly ballpark in San Francisco. If you can spend up, I definitely advise going to him. All the other pitchers are very risky. I could see Senga in a cash game lineup because all the other pitchers on this slate are pretty risky and, like GPP worthy, but it just matters if we can actually save the money with the bats or not. But Senga, he's had a pretty good start to the year. Didn't look that great in Oakland last start, but still got 7 strikeouts. The Mets gave him a huge lead, and it looked like he kind of pitched lax into the 5th inning and gave up a few runs. But, overall, a strong start to his career for the Mets. 11,000 is expensive, though. If you wanted to get like GPP, a GPP guy, you could go down to Roansy Contreras of the Pirates. He's extremely cheap, 7,300. Has had 2 pretty good starts this year. 1 really bad start against the Astros. The Astros are a tough team. He pitched well against the other two games, the other 2 teams, which were also really good. The Red Sox in Boston, not an easy spot. 26 fantasy points. At St. Louis, 34 fantasy points. So if you spend down on him, he's almost $4,000 cheaper than Senga. He only needs low 20s in fantasy points to hit value, and then you'd absolutely be able to stack the hell out of your bats. So if you're going to go cheap, I'm looking at Contreras. Everyone else is, pretty risky. Maybe Shamanea. I don't love it, though. Going into the bats, the Phillies look fantastic tonight. One of the best teams to stack. They're against the righty Feltner of the Rockies. I expect the Phillies to put up a lot of runs. They're pretty cheap. Bryson Stott should be leading off for the Phillies. He's looked great this year. 365 average, which is exactly what you want from a leadoff hitter. Lefty-righty matchup. If he gets on base, there's a high chance he's going to come around and score. Again, if you look at his start to the season, he has a hit in every single game except for 2 games ago on April 18th. So this guy's seeing the ball really well, and he should get 4, possibly 5 at-bats in that leadoff spot tonight. Second infield play, we're going back to Brian Hayes. I was all over the Pirates the entire Coors Field series. They still look great tonight against Luke Weaver of the Reds. They're at home. It's a 9 over-under. They are favorites, and these Pirates are still discounted. Hayes, the lineup was confirmed right before I made this video. He is leading off. 2,900 looks great. He has gone through a nice little 6-game stretch here. Played really well at Coors Field. Has gotten double-digit fantasy points in those 6 games. And he's had some extra base hits too. 4 extra base hits, 2 doubles, a triple, a home run. 2,900 is very cheap for Ke'Bryan Hayes. I like the Pirates. I like Hayes as a nice value spot at third base. Outfield, Kyle Schwarber, one of my favorite plays tonight. Should be batting second or third. They usually go Stott, Trey Turner, Schwarber. Schwarber looks awesome at 3,100. He's a guy that should not be 3,100. His upside's too great. When there's a good pitcher, he's not going to, he's going to strike out. He's going to, that's why his average is at 197. But he usually is pretty good at taking advantage of bad right-handed pitchers. And that is what we have on his docket tonight in Ryan Feltner of the Rockies, carrying an 8.8 ERA with an 0-2 record. Schwarber at 3,100. His upside is as good as anyone on this slate, which, that point alone makes him worth rostering in most lineups at this cheap price tag. Then my last play, it looks like Fernando Tatis is coming back tonight, and he would be slated to lead off for this Padres team. The Padres are expected to score runs in Arizona tonight against Rin Nelson of the Diamondbacks. Juan Soto looks great. Like Schwarber, his average is sub 200. His average has been pretty bad ever since he got traded to the Padres. Last year at the All-Star break from the Mets. He can't really seem to shake off this little, below the Mendoza line kind of average. That means sub 200 in baseball terms. But Soto, I don't know. This matchup's great. So he has 4 homers on the year. I'm not going to look at that low average too much because it still is early in this season. It's a great matchup. Lefty-righty. He has 3 hits in the last 2 games. Homered last game. Maybe he gets something going. This would be the spot to get something going. And I mentioned Tatis. He's 4,500 on FanDuel. I am not clicking on his picture. I don't know why my computer does that. He's 4,500 on FanDuel, so he's going to be very tough to spend up for if you pick Senga at pitcher. If you go to Contreras on the Pirates, you could probably fit him in. But one thing you need to know, if you play DraftKings, Tatis is, I don't know what they're doing. He is still sub minimum $2,000 on DraftKings. So if you play over there and he is playing tonight, do not miss that. He needs to be in 100% of your lineups on DraftKings at the bare minimum $2,000 salary. Jumping over to NBA, we got another 3-game slate tonight. Did not go well for us last night. I didn't pick Xavier Tillman, and he wanted to play better than Anthony Davis last night. It was absolutely insane. He even shot a 3 and hit it. That's when you know things are going wild. There was a 30-point blowout in the Bucks and Heat game. So, that can happen. It shouldn't happen in the playoffs. You shouldn't get fucked over by a random, below average player like Tillman and see a 30-point blowout. But it's DFS. We move on to the next day. Not a lot of injury shit to worry about. We had a lot of injury stuff going on last night. The only thing is Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins are questionable tonight. I do expect them to play. I don't see why they wouldn't. I'm going to act like they are going to play in basically a must-win game for the Warriors down 2-0 to the Kings. They're going to want to win tonight at home because, Draymond Green is suspended, and if they go down 3-0, the way the Kings, they light the beam, their momentum, they're the NBA's team this year, it feels like. It doesn't seem like no matter what fan base is watching it, it seems like it's very hard to dislike the Kings. So if they go up 3-0 tonight, the Warriors might be toast. So I can't imagine Wiggins does not play in the absence of Draymond Green. They need everyone they can to muscle out this win at home. But let's talk about my 5 value plays here. As I usually do, one for each position. A little segue after talking about that Warriors game. Steph Curry, 9,400, no Draymond Green. Basically a must-win game back at home. This game is by far the best game to pick from tonight. It's not even close. The Nets and Sixers game has a 209 over-under, which is just vomit-worthy. I basically want to pick no one in that game. How can you, on a 3-game slate, how can you prioritize a game that is a 209 over under, where the next game, the Kings and Warriors, is a 240. We're talking about a 31 point difference. I mean, if you expose yourself more to that first game, you're just automatically putting yourself behind the eight ball. I mean, there's really no reason to do anything in that Nets and Sixers game. Maybe Cameron Johnson, he's been playing well, but I kind of want to do a full fade. The Nets, they're a better overall team. They still, Mikal Bridges, they don't have a real star. It is good to see that those guys are meshing well, but they're not beating the Sixers. The Sixers are going to sweep the Nets. Do I have to be the only one to just be honest? They're not. I don't see the Nets winning a game in that series. It's a low over under. We're going to look at Steph Curry at 9,400. He has a huge upside tonight with no Draymond Green. He's going to shoot his normal amount. Green doesn't shoot, but Green does a lot of assisting. Steph Curry should have the ball in his hands an awful lot. Jordan Poole isn't really part of their rotation as much anymore. He played like sub 20 minutes. Curry's going to play 40 tonight. They're going to need him to score. I like his over on points. Like on any prop site, I think Steph Curry shoots a ton of shots tonight. His upside looks great. He needs 47 fantasy points to hit value. Definitely a good guy to be spending up on. Shooting guard. This is just a cheap play. Eric Gordon, he's been starting 4,400. He needs 21 fantasy points to hit value. As long as he gets over 15, he's going to play 32 minutes like he's done in the first two games of this series. With no Paul George, he's been filling the void. And, he had a great game one. Game two wasn't as good, but, he's going to get you probably 16 to 25 fantasy points. There's not a lot of great sub 5,000 value out there tonight. And as I've said in other videos, during the entire NBA playoffs, is never going to be great, comfortable sub 5,000 value. Eric Gordon looks like a decent opportunity to save some money. Small forward, I said I think Andrew Wiggins is playing tonight. He is questionable, but the guy just played 40 minutes last game, so it says shoulder. If his shoulder was hurting that bad where he can't play in game 3, I don't understand how he plays 40 minutes in game 2 unless like swelling or, as a night's sleep goes by, it feels substantially worse. But you got to think after all that Andrew Wiggins has gone through with his personal life this season, this guy is going to be itching to play for a Warriors team that needs him the most over any game all year with no Draymond Green in a must-win game. I would be so shocked. Andrew Wiggins would have to be so hurt. His shoulder would have to feel terrible for him not to play tonight. So if he does play, 6,400 with no Draymond Green, he sets himself up as one of the best value plays on the slate. Needs 32 fantasy points. And again, this Warriors and Kings game, the best game to pick from tonight. A huge over-under. Should stay close. Wiggins looks great. And a note for this play, you do have to have a little bit of a backup in case there's that rare scenario that Wiggins is out. God forbid he's out, you could just swap down to Harrison Barnes. You can't go to Cameron Johnson because he starts at 7:30 Eastern, so he'll already be locked. But if you pick Wiggins, you can do a swap to Harrison Barnes. Yes, you lose $500 salary, but there is a plan B in this scenario. If you have to use it. Andrew Wiggins is just too good of a play tonight to fade. I think you got to take that risk, and then you can always drop down to Harrison Barnes. But if Wiggins was out, you could also drop down to a guy like Kuminga, who will probably be starting and look like a great value play, and then you can upgrade somewhere else. It's just worth the risk because if I had to put a number on it, I say it's 90-10 odds that Andrew Wiggins plays tonight, 90% chance that he plays. That's just my personal opinion on it. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming you're feeling the same way in this must-win game. Power forward, Domantas Sabonis, 9,000. This looks like a great value play. 45 fantasy points is what he needs. He is going to play. They already said he will after getting, kicked in the chest. It was a dirty play by Draymond Green. Sabonis was grabbing his ankle, but we've seen plenty of players grab someone's ankle on the court. Sabonis is not the first one to do that, and no one's ever been suspended for a game for doing that. Did he deserve a tech? Yeah, you shouldn't be grabbing someone's foot when they're trying to run away from you. It's very dangerous. But what Draymond Green did, way more dangerous. I mean, he deserves that suspension. The guy curb stomped him. I don't understand how anyone tries to argue the point that Draymond Green didn't just step on his stomach. I mean, it was so obvious, but that's my 2 cents on it. I think Sabonis looks like a fantastic play. They did get a little pity with putting him on the questionable injury report. I mean, there was no chance Sabonis was ever going to miss this game. But again, you want as much exposure to this game as possible. Sabonis looks great. And then for center, no Draymond Green, Kevon Looney. His price is a little bit more expensive, $5,800, but there's not much to say here. He's going to play a bulk of the minutes as he's really their only big man tonight. So with no Draymond Green out there, they can't really have anyone else cover Sabonis. So I expect 30-plus minutes from Looney, and he should absolutely control the boards. I see double-digit rebounds tonight for him. And then points and assists can come at any point. But if Looney had like a crazy 12 to 15 rebound game tonight, I would not be surprised. 5,800 looks great on Kevon Looney tonight. That'll do it for this video, guys. Let's get after both sports tonight. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Like it, subscribe. I'll have more to come tomorrow on Friday. Until next time, I am the FD Guru.